Hey everyone, welcome back to Cheddar.
Austin-based company FlashParking just raised $60 million to change the way people park. The vision to create a new kind of parking hub, including different modes of transportation, which include autonomous vehicles, robotic vehicles, so much more. Co-founder of FlashParking, Juan Rodriguez, is with us now. Congratulations on this recent round. So for those who are not as familiar, how is FlashParking different from other providers of parking?
Thank you. So we basically compete with a lot of different what we call legacy providers. And a legacy provider does revenue control for parking assets, but it requires you to have a ton of infrastructure. So you have these assets that are isolated, they have static pricing, they don't have dynamic pricing, data poor, expensive to operate, single purpose. And we essentially do the opposite of that. We have a full-blown cloud-based parking platform that allows us to connect others. So we can do a lot of different integrations with other people and provide some very interesting services inside these parking assets.
What are some of those services? I mean, when I hear dynamic pricing, I think Uber, and I think for the customer who's parking, that they're going to have to wait around for good deals on a parking spot if it's, let's say, really peak hours.
Yeah, so from a dynamic pricing standpoint, there's different things you got to consider. Obviously, during the day, it might be more expensive, but instead of keeping the rate as high as you would during the day, in the evening hours, the pricing will drop so that these parking assets that are empty are going to be utilized by the public, and in turn, reducing congestion.
What type of data do you guys take in on each type of car that is using your platform right now?
It depends. In some situations, there's license plate recognition cameras, so we know the license plate of the vehicles. In others, we're collecting, credit card information, or you're using your mobile phone, and through your mobile phone via Bluetooth, we allow you to enter and exit the parking facility.
And I guess the reason that I asked that is because that would actually help you and cities track how quickly certain types of cars are actually moving more into prominence. I think about electric vehicles particularly, and with parking, the requirements that they have to be able to charge as well. What has that been like? How are you meeting that type of demand?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So think about the parking asset today. So a parking garage, it's today, 99% of the time, is being used to leave your car there. So with this mobility hub operating system that we are deploying, you can not only charge your vehicle, but also do other types of services in that parking asset. So obviously EV charging is important. So we're providing multiple players that are integrated into our centralized platform, so that these parking and asset owners are able to offer those services. We're also doing ride-sharing integration. So think about being able to utilize somebody like Uber or Lyft to be able to drop off and pick up in these locations, but also for their drivers to be able to utilize the restroom, for example. So think about an Uber driver in Manhattan trying to use the restroom. That is a complicated, challenging thing to achieve. Whereas frictionlessly through our platform, somebody can say, I need to take a break, and we can guide them to one of the to one of the parking assets that are available within that area, and that person can utilize, the restroom, for example.
Lyft and Uber have this vision of getting rid of parking garages altogether because everybody's just going to be driving or riding around in autonomous vehicles. They don't own their cars. Is that something you're preparing for?
I don't think that's really what's going to happen. So I think that these parking assets are going to become more valuable, and they're going to be acting like a capacitor to reduce congestion within cities. So this vision of cars driving around all the time, I don't see that being something that's going to happen anytime soon.
30,000 parking spaces across 34 facilities in the Texas Medical Center. Plans for expansion, what do they look like, Juan?
So the Texas Medical Center is the largest paid parking facility in North America, and also the largest medical center in the world. So as they continue to grow, we will continue to deploy our platform there, but we have thousands of locations nationwide utilizing this. And our goal is to capture 40% of the U.S. market, and that's about 22,000 locations in the United States in the next 3 to 5 years.
All right, really great stuff there.
Thanks for joining us today. Co-founder of FlashParking, Juan Rodriguez. Appreciate the time and congratulations on the early success.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.